Brent Harvey fires it in towards half forward.
That's
They've got an opportunity again through Mullet. Mullet goes wide to the outer side. Thompson might kick a goal here. The key defender does. How about that, he says. We're still in this game.
Decision-making and foot skills are pivotal, and he's been so important in a couple of their victories.
They are out here. They've got numbers loose.
It started with Jonas and it's finished with PAdelaide. On centre wing, he goes up towards left half forward. The mark taken there by Hartlett. He swings around now, puts them inside 50. Gee, that's a good kick.
Yep.
That is a beautiful kick to accommodate Schultz.
Well, they had a 2-on-1, Sandy, and Scotty Thompson had to hedge his bets a bit. He had Wingard pushing out to the pocket on his own, so he was playing a couple of metres in front of Schultz in case he had to go. And Hartlett just quickly kicked it over the top. Schultz doubling back towards goal. These are the ones that you tend to just pencil in for him. He's such a beautiful set shot.
49 goals last year, 2 so far today. 30 metres out on an angle that shouldn't prove too dastardly for him. And it doesn't. He gets the goal and Port away to a flying start in the final quarter.
Good spot for a ball up for North, just out of the Thomas's reach. Corns, Pittard. He joined us late. He's Port Adelaide sub, fresher than the rest, but he turns it over. Grimer.
Oh, dangerous.
McDonald.
Look, they're in time.
Big responsibility for the youngster here.
Just got to think their way through the traffic.
A little bit of Thomas magic or some Wells magic from the Kangaroos.
Or some Petrie magic. Oh, yeah, not quite. Off hands. Goldstein!
And they've got time. 8 3/4 minutes remaining.
Third man up, Del Santo.
Here's a chance for Del Santo. Gets it away quickly towards Jacobs from 48 metres. He sets sail with a bomb. He sets sail with a bomb. Here come the Kangas.
Well, I don't think anything would feel as sweet as that kick off the left foot of Ben Jacobs, a former Port Adelaide player who gets his opportunity to sub for North Melbourne. Del Santo was third man up in the ruck, then he followed it up and he got the hand pass out. Look at the finish. Now there's a kick in it. And again, Port Adelaide can't save this game, as you said, Jerry. They've got to win it. They've got to kick goals because North are coming, and they're coming hard.
Yeah, they've got to start running again.
Huge roar rings around Etihad Stadium. One kick in it. 3 points to margin.
How many close games did North Melbourne lose last year?
Quite a few, so it's on the line again.
They're due.
I'm sure they'd appreciate the reminder. They could take the lead here. Gibson pokes it wide. They've got all the momentum. Adams wants to play on. Petrie from full forward. Lindsay Thomas down there. Petrie off hands. Harvey, right man, right moment. North Melbourne in front.
To answer your question, Jason, it was 10 games they lost under 16 points.
Well, they look like they're the momentum team that is not going to let this one get away. Brent Harvey, the man for an occasion, isn't he? Hasn't been the freest of night, but on that occasion, he got goal side. You just saw him there. He spun Matty White around, got goal side, read the ball a little better, and we know he can finish.
Well, it was Brent Harvey who inspired the Kangas last week with a dazzling final quarter. And he's on track to do it again tonight. That's his second goal, but more importantly, it's given North Melbourne the lead by 3 points as we go back in the middle. Lobie wins it. Jacobs couldn't take it out. Boat can't get it out. You can hear the umpire saying, knock it out. Lobie says, well, I'm trying to get it out to Robbie Gray. And he does. Gray is free. Instead of long, he chips up towards the half-forward line. No mark taken. Spooned out the back. Westhoff was there, but so too was Grimer. Schultz tries to soccer off the ground once. Tries to go again, but runs out of room. Boy, what a finish. In front of just under 20,000 fans. It deserves more, 19,111. Goldstein and Lobie lock arms. Schultz gets taken out of it. Now the pressure's on the Kanga defence, but they're equal to the task for the moment.
Coming back.
But it will only be for the moment because Corns has it. 55 out. Again, he elects to go short. Grimer is there. It almost comes back to Corns. Del Santo couldn't pick it up. Westhoff tries hard to Cassisi. Off to Wines. Another stab in towards the pocket. Cunnington was the effective spoiler, and he backs up for a second go. He's had a really good day. Robbie Gray on the ground. Couldn't do anything with it. Neither could Westhoff. Cassisi tries to chop it off. He does.
Got Hartlett in the middle of the ground by himself.
Good kick.
And that's, well, he heads in further than that to Broadbent. Now he's going to go bang with the ball.
Look at that.
That is a long, long, inspiring bomb from Broadbent.
That's a 60-metre drop punt. And clever by Port to free him up in the square. Good vision to see him, but North Melbourne, well, you've got to read your opponents. There's only one bloke in their team capable of this kick, and that's Matthew Broadbent.
And he took the responsibility. This isn't a selfish kick. There is a bloke top of screen. He could have popped it over to him, but he knew he had that weapon in the artillery, and he was gutsy enough, brave enough to have a crack at it, but good enough to deliver.
Kicked it from inside the square.
Brilliant.
It's turning into a classic. Might only be 20,000 in here, but it sounds like 40. Back in the middle. Ton of time left. From the ball up. Goldstein. Almost. Del Santo. Almost. Through legs. Wines. Dump. Greenwood. Wrapped him in ball. Still a chance. Jacobs. Del Santo for the instant reply to Curry. Through his legs. Hit hard.
Got the spare on this side if he can find him.
Looks up. Wants to know where to go. Broadbent just kicked the last goal. Last line of defence. He plays on. Takes the advantage. Impey stands. Waits. Flicks on towards Butcher. Hanson right there with Butch. Gets it up to Hodge. On the overlap. White. Barkey instructions. Goes wide.
That's ridiculous.
And that's almost deliberate.
Matty White needs to realise his limitations. He had a nice little lead up from Robbie Gray on his right foot. You hit it, you maintain possession. But trying to direct traffic and then kick a 55-metre drop punt on your opposite foot.
That turned into a torpedo.
Yeah, and nearly went out in the full.
So, a throw in.
Oh, here's an opportunity.
And the Kangas away.
Here's an opportunity.
Now Wells through the middle to Del Santo. 60 metres from home. Cunnington's loose. And he's going to go back. He's had a great day today. Patch Adams it is. Both have had great days. Patch having his 26th birthday. Cunnington picking up possessions at will. And he plays on. He gives it to Nicky Del Santo, who goes for goal. And guess what? We've got another lead change.
Well, it's a good finish from Del Santo, Jared, but you always get worried about a bloke. Critical stage of the game with a set shot. 40 out on a slight angle that doesn't want to have the set shot.
Well, maybe once again, Jason, he knew the limitations of his ability. So I think we're getting to a stage where there are genuine better shots at goal than others, and I haven't got a problem with him laying it off. Pat's not his greatest forte, and this bloke is one of the more gifted players who is having his best game for the Kangaroos.
Heard a little mixed reaction from North fans to Nick Del Santo's first couple of games. I love him a little more now.
9 possessions and a goal in the 4th term for Nick Del Santo.
5.5 minutes left. Gray to Bogue. Little fumble. Back to Gray. Between his legs. Cassisi. Gray. Sidestep was clever. A wobbler. Mullet cuts it off.
They've just got to find a way of winning this, North Melbourne. After the history of last year, the close losses, they just have to win this match.
Gibson. Some shin bone of spirit. Brad Scott talked about it. Can they find it here? To Curry. One grab, not the second. That could have been the clincher had he held that in goal. Broadbent now. PAdelaide. Can they make them pay? Broadbent's got Westhoff out wide. He hasn't got a lot forward.
No run. No one pushing forward for him.
You got Boak. I think it's Boak in the middle of the ground with cramp.
They are absolutely cooked, the Port players.
Got to go long down the line.
4.5 minutes left. Butcher, Hartlett. Butcher got the crumb. Takes it to the line. They'll reset.
So when you're trailing and you can't find anyone to run forward to the ball, as we see Boak making his way off, you wonder how PAdelaide are going to find a way to get over the line here.
Ebert back on. He's their best runner. He's just come back onto the field now.
Might be a case of last man standing. Who can survive? The Goldstein hand pass is okay. North looking to mount another challenge once again. Harvey on the outer side.
Just look more comfortable with the footy at the moment, North. They've got runners creating options. Look like they can just maintain possession a little better than Port Adelaide can.
Well, they've got runners though, Jason.
Yeah.
That's the key point. They are running us out better than Port Adelaide, who have had a great track record in the last quarter, but they've also had a pretty taxing couple of weeks.
Indeed they have. Curry takes a fine contested mark.
Petrie one out.
He's going to send North inside 50.
Well, they've got a couple back as well, Pittard and
Yeah, and he's going to go
also
backwards.
Broadbent, so got to play possession.
Yep. That's what he does to Hansen.
They've got the foot skills to play this game.
But the difference is it now puts pressure back on Port, who are leg weary, to actually man up. Now Greenwood's got out here, so they'll do this for as long as it takes. As long as they find a free, they'll keep doing this. If Port Adelaide haven't got the legs to man up.
Under 3.5 minutes remaining. Greenwood, a big last quarter last week, but that will let him down.
They don't have the skills to do that, Chase. I don't think they can do it for 4.5 to 5 minutes. I mean, there's 3:20 to go on the clock now.
No, but if you get a couple of minutes of doing it, you do it while you're in front. You eat off the clock wherever you can, particularly if it's making the opposition work, King. I hear what you say, though. Have they got enough skilled players? Probably not.
Even in trouble, Goldstein had it. It flicked up towards the half-forward line. Curry is there. Will meet in the sandwich in the end. Homch led in the race for the ball initially. Harvey's there, lurking, ever dangerous, but he's taken to the line. And we've got another throw-in.
Well, they need a bit of support now, the key defenders for Port Adelaide. They've been dominant all day. Paddy Carlisle has been excellent. Trengover's also been quite superb, dominated their key posts. But they need some support in this last few minutes.
From the knockdown, Wells, can he find a target with the kick? Puts it up in hope. Petrie won't get there. Good attack from Bastanak. Huge fist. Cassisi. Carlisle. Cassisi knocked down after. Port Adelaide want to play onto advantage here. They don't know how long left. And they trail. Boak. A 1-2 with Carlisle. Hartland looks up. Not a lot to go too long. Turns it over. Gibson. Does he go backwards or forwards?
Look who.
He takes it on. Harvey, is he just beyond his range? He'll just take 35 seconds off the clock here, surely.
Two things.
Wait
Man
for
on the
ball.
mark, be very, very careful, and look for the little chip kick as well.
Well, if anybody's clever enough to do the right thing here, it's Boomer Harvey. He's got all the experience now. He's got Thompson running for him. He could just kick it backwards here if he wanted to.
I wouldn't jump
ball.
if I was man on the mark. Do not jump.
He elects not to kick it back and waste time. He goes for the kill. Out of this world! Don't you want to be him?
Well, he's got a lot of tricks in his kit bag, and he's shown them over many, many years. But that's as good a trick as anybody's ever had, and that is going back with the pressure on your outside 50 and you kick it straight over the umpire's head. That is just a great goal and great work by the Kangaroos. They've now got to just track down 90-odd seconds of football, 114 seconds in fact.
It looks as though for the second week in a row, a little 35-year-old veteran of some 365 games is going to get his side over the line.
Port Adelaide have pulled their forward line right back.
Here's Gray out of the middle. Still time, but they've got to do something pretty rapidly. Petrie, a big spoiler. Straight down to Gray again, who's ripped to the ground. Ball spills free. Now a chance for Port, and this is a hurried reply for Impey. He's going to have to go back. 1 minute and 34 seconds on the clock.
There's a box on right next to him.
There's a little bit of a Barney behind him.
He's just got to make sure if he gets everything else and goes back and kicks again. He'll plenty of time to kick another one if they get it back to the centre.
Here's the kick. And you can hear the roar of the North Melbourne fans behind those goals. You know the result.
Yeah, that was the one that gave him a chance, that kick.
So unfortunate for the first draft pick, the youngster, Jarman Impey. And precious seconds tick away.
And I don't reckon you can afford to zone up here. You've got to go man on man.
So Mullen, who's kicked a couple of goals, brings it back into play with a long, very wide bomb that will see Homch bring it back for Port.
A mark for North Melbourne should do it. That's all they need. It sits up long. A mark for Port Adelaide could keep them in it. Westhoff down there, off hands. Gibson ducks into one, hoping for a high. A free would just about do it. Boak, the captain, the sidestep, and he chips wide. And North Melbourne, you'd think, could mop the seconds up from here with ease and sail to a nice 7-point lead at the final siren.
Well, they'll get someone that runs hard here. There it is, the kick out.
That'll do it. Just hold it up.
44 seconds and counting. Called to play on now.
This will see off a few of the demons for North Melbourne, all those close ones that they lost last year. This will be a very, very satisfying victory.
As we said earlier, Jason, 10 games they lost by under 16 points or less. Here's Cunnington. Had a big game. Levi Greenwood enjoying being out there after the sub last week. Trying to find Harvey, the hero. Paddles it back. Stolen. That was by Corns. Hansen couldn't take it. Cassisi gives it to Boak. Another one to White, and White's away. Gives it off to the run of Hartlett. Hartlett 60 metres out, but it matters not because there's the siren. And the Kangas have